Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Miranti Nurfadilah with number name 23018109, and it is my video final project of Grammar for TOEFL from my lecturer Miss Witri Octavia MPD. And here I will explain about independent and dependent clauses. For the first one, the learning objective is understanding the difference between independent and dependent clause and identify types of dependent clauses. So, what is a clause? Clause is a group of words containing a subject and a verb. It has two main types. The first one is independent clause, and the second is dependent clause. The first one is independent clause. What is independent clause? Independent clause is a clause that can stand alone as a complete sentence. It contains subject plus verb. Complete TOEFL. For the example is, she studies English every day, and the TOEFL test is challenging. So let's review the example. She studies English every day. The subject is she and the verb is studies. Complete, we understand the full meaning. Okay, now let's review the example. The first example is she studies English every day. The subject is she and the verb is study. It is incomplete sentence, so we can understand the full meaning. And the second is the TOEFL test is challenging. The subject is task and the verb is. Complete, full, and full statement. The next is dependent clause. Dependent clause is a clause that cannot stand alone. It contains subject plus verb but incomplete TOEFL. The characteristics. The first one is begins with subordinating words like because, when, although, single dependency. And the second is create sentence fragments if used alone. It must be attached to a complete sentence to make sense. The third is create sentence fragments if used alone. Because I was tired. The sentence is grammatically incomplete and incorrect. Types of dependent clause. Three main types of dependent clause. The first one is adverbial clause. It modifies verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. It answers questions like when, why, where, and how. And the second is adjective clause or relative clause. It modifies nouns or pronouns. It provides additional information about person, place, or things. And the last is noun clause. The function as a noun in the sentence can be a subject, object, or complement. So the first one is adverbial clause. The function for answer when, why, where, how, or under what conditions. the common subordinates like time, like when, while, before, after, until, and since. It is show temporal relationship. For example, when I arrived, the class had started. And the second is cause, such as because and since and as. It shows reason or cause effect. For the example, because it rained, we stayed home. Okay, and the next is conditions, like if and unless. It is show conditions or requirements such as if you study, you will pass. And the last is contrast, such as although, though, and even though. It is to show contrast or unexpected result. For the example, although she was tired, she continued. Okay, the next is adjective clause. The function is to describe or modify a noun. It is also called relative clauses. This provides essential or extra information about the noun they follow. They answer which one or what kind. The relative pronouns such as who, whom, whose, which, that, where, and when. For the example, the book that I read was interesting. Which books? The one I read. Okay, and the next is students who study regularly success. Which students? Those who study regularly. And the last example is this is place where I study. So what kind of place? It means my study locations. So the next is noun clause. The functions act as a subject, object, or complement. These clauses function exactly like nouns in sentences. You can replace them with pronouns like it or something to test if they are noun clause. Okay? The subordinates like that, what, whether, if, who, when, where, why, and how. These words introduce the noun clause and connect it to the main sentence. Each has specific usage rules. For the example, what she said was true. The subject replaced it was true. Okay, for the next we talk about complex sentence. In the complex sentence, any independent clause plus dependent clause. A complex sentence combines one independent clause with at least one dependent clause to show relationships between ideas. So, independent clause plus dependent clause. For the example, I study hard because I want high scores. The main ID is the first. In the first, the main ID in the first. I study hard, and then supporting information after that. It is not use a comma needed in this pattern. And the second pattern is dependent clause plus independent clause. For the example, because I want high scores, I study hard. Supporting information in the beginning, right? It is for building suspense. Then the main idea. The comma required after the dependent clause. So the next is punctuation rule. Use comma when dependent clause comes first. The comma signals to the reader that the introduction is complete and the main clause is beginning. This is a firm rule, not optional, okay? I think that's all from me, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.